Hello, everyone, and welcome to QuestLore, a family Lorcana podcast where each and every week we talk to you about all things Lorcana. Today on the panel, we've got myself, Matt.
I'm Emmett.
And I'm Jen.
Sadly, Malcolm isn't here. He's off to a birthday party that I wasn't invited. But technically, he's still here, right here.
For the two people watching us on YouTube, you can see that. For everyone listening, uh,
It's just a
It's
picture
just
of
a picture
Malcolm
of
that
Malcolm.
Emmett has set up for
Yes.
us. So, no Malcolm this week. He shall return next week, unless he gets Jumanji'd into Lorcana along the way.
Like,
you never know, could
like-
happen.
maybe he can turn into Brian
It's important.
Into Martin?
and then mess everything up.
Sure. I mean, he does have the guitar. He does play the guitar. He's got long hair like Martin.
He
is
does.
Martin.
He should.
And Malcolm is Martin. He should be that. We convinced him
And
that to be that for
That's who
Halloween.
he should
And
know.
plus-
That's who he should be at in Toronto
In
because.
Toronto.
And
That's
plus,
right.
he
Big-
does play yellow.
Yeah, that's right. So, because big news.
All four of us are going to Toronto.
That's right.
Okay, I'm
Okay,
gonna
let's
stop.
kill that
Okay.
bit.
No, we're not pretending to be Malcolm today. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
It's all right, dude.
But yeah, so we were very excited. We were on the computer clicking refresh for a good 45 minutes, but on computers and
tense.
phones and multiple devices, but we were able to secure 4 competitor badges for us to all 4 of us go to Toronto. We're all super excited. We already have passports, so that is not an issue, and luckily we are within driving distance of Toronto. So
Yeah, because that's weird. Like plane tickets from Detroit to Toronto just like aren't a thing. Apparently,
yeah,
it seems
weird.
it seems very strange. They're two fairly major cities. We are a Delta Airlines hub. So
Yeah.
you would think being able to go to one of the largest cities, if not the largest city in Canada, wouldn't be a problem. Um, but apparently it is. So flying isn't even like even if we were okay with paying for the cost of flying, that's not even an option really.
No, so
I looked
very
at tickets
strange.
and it was very weird. But anyways,
But it's a decent, it's an okay drive. Like we've driven
5
further than
hours.
yeah, we've driven further than that in a day
Yep.
just to not even leave the state. So
Yep.
'cause
Yep.
that's how Michigan is. But we're very excited. The boys are both extremely excited.
I'm not really.
Yes, you are.
Okay, I'm not as excited as Malcolm.
Okay, sure. Malcolm is extremely excited.
Yep.
So that's very cool. So if any of you are in Toronto and you see us, give us a shout out, say hello. And if we see any of you, that would be great.
Yeah. So we will be there in Toronto, but before we even get to Toronto, there's lots of play to do, lots of testing of our decks because that is what we'll be using in Toronto. We'll still be set 4.
I thought it would be set 5.
Well,
Set
so the
5.
side events will be set 5.
The side events will be set 5, but the actual competition will still be set 4 because it's within. I think the way it ends up falling is that's the same weekend that all the stuff hits big box stores, so like Walmart and stuff. And then for Disney Lorcana challenges, you can't use that set until a week later. So it'll be out. Everyone can get it, but we won't be able to use it. So it'll be a one final. Our set 4 decks will be mastered by that point, and that will probably be the last time we also play with those decks. So
Yeah.
fun times up ahead indeed. But before we get any further, let's start by talking about what we always talk about, our weekly playing. So we had leagues this past Sunday, the start of the second week of our set 4.
Second week of set 4, yeah.
Um,
We're quite a bit behind.
We're behind, yeah. We'll see if we make it through 4 weeks because who knows what we're going to have to do with all this set championship coming up and stuff too.
Yeah.
So
And since our league is on Sundays with Father's Day, Mother's Day, everyone out of town for Chicago, 4th of July, or no, 4th of July is going to be.
I don't know if there's a chance that he cancels for 4th of July
Yeah,
too
who knows?
because there are going to be a lot of people gone, right? So
I don't know.
we'll see
I
what
wanna
happens.
play.
Well, let's talk about how
Yes,
we
so
did
we-
play. So Sunday, Jen, how did it go? You've only got the one this week.
I believe I only went 1 and 2. I was playing. I know 2 of the people I played I think we're playing kind of newer, weird decks
Mm-hmm.
that I wasn't.
What color?
Actually, I think all three were.
What
All
colors
three
do
were
you
playing. So one person was just somebody who started playing late, so doesn't have a lot of. They were trying to play um the Tamatoa deck, but without
Sisu on
Tom.
ice
Yeah,
is what it's called.
it's what is it called?
Sisu on ice. He was
Sisu
playing.
on ice.
Yeah, he was playing like a light version,
A
like
light version
like diet Sisu on ice.
of the Sapphire Steel.
Yes.
So, but without
Sapphire.
Sapphire Ruby, right? So
Yeah.
without the Tamatoas, though,
Without the dragons.
without dragons, but still lots of items.
What's the point of the Tamatoa deck if of the Ruby Sapphire deck if there's no Tamatoa?
He's still so there's still other
making it work, trying to make it work.
there's still other cards that work with a lot of items. Like that does work with a lot of items.
Yeah, and if you've got that dime, then you've also got the bell as a target.
Yes.
You can use
and he did beat me
Ariel.
one of the 3 games.
Mhm.
So like I did go 2-1 with him, but I was able to beat. Oh no, I went 2-1.
Not sure.
I did go 2-1 because I won that one and then I won the second one. And she was playing. What was she playing? I forget. What was Rachel playing?
She's playing Emerald Amethyst.
Emerald Amethyst, but I think she was new to it, so
Yeah, this was
like
the first time.
it was the first time she was playing because she's usually a pretty competitive player, and but I was able to beat her. But then I lost my third. Yes, I did go 2-1, but because I lost my third one to somebody who was playing something completely new.
Is that the Ruby Steel
Yeah.
deck? Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that I had
I've
never seen it before. It was definitely, definitely interesting and just kind of wiped the board with me because I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
So that was quite interesting
Mhm.
for sure. But it was so fun and I love playing and I still went 2-1, which was awesome. And then how did you do?
I only went 1-2. The one that I won out was a new player to the game. She did play at the draft on last Saturday.
Mm-hmm. So it was really her second time playing.
Yeah. So she was playing a Ruby Amber.
A Ruby Amber.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It was. You've heard of Steel Song. Have you ever heard of Ruby Song?
Oh no, interesting. That sounds fun.
So she was playing the Ruby Steel. She didn't have she. It would have been pretty funny if she had all 3 be prepared songs.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, and then who else did you play?
But the thing with Steel Songs rarely have any evasives.
Oh, so she couldn't get to your evasive.
The only thing that evasive does that Steel
actually,
Songs
Steel Songs are usually good with evasives. This is from the kitty.
Sorry. Didn't mean to derail us. I was giving Jen a strange look because I saw small marks all along her arm. So I guess before we continue with the playing, we did have a couple of other new additions to the family.
We got kitties.
We got 2 new kittens. 2 new kitties. Little 9-week-old kittens. What are their names, Emmett?
So when we got them, they were Jimmy and Giselle. But now they're Peach and.
Did you forget?
Daisy.
There we go. Yes, Peach and Daisy to go with our Zelda, of course, because we are a big Nintendo household as well as Disney. But anyway, so if you are watching on YouTube and you're like, whoa, why does Jen have scratches all up and down her arms?
It's not because I beat her.
How would you give me scratches like this?
I'd be really bad at beating you. Like that's just how bad I would be.
Family show, Matt.
I'm saying I'm not, so it's okay.
So anyway, so just little kitties, and they're not in the room right now because Zelda and the kitties are still kind of getting used to each other, aren't you, Zelda?
Well, if they weren't snack size, she'd probably get along with them better.
Yeah. You don't want to do. But anyway, Emmett, so how were the other 2 that you played? What else did you play on Sunday? Do you remember or no?
I'm pretty sure I played Malcolm.
Oh yeah, you did play Malcolm, and
that
Malcolm's
was very painful. I hate Malcolm's fills and reloads.
Yeah, his fills and reloads. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he can get up there really fast. He had someone kind of reacting the same way you did when he played later that week. For myself on Saturday, I went 2-1. I think I was in third place
Yep.
after everything. I know Malcolm kind of had to run the gauntlet. I know he had to play two of the better players
Yeah.
in the store.
Was it Randy and John?
No, Randy.
No.
And who he had to play. I know. Then I played Dave after him. So that was the one game where I lost. I went like 2-0, and then I went 2-0 again, and then it was 1-2 for my last match. But those matches were really fun, and like both of them, like both the ones that I lost, like they went like right to was either he wins this turn or I win next turn. That's how it's going.
And literally the only reason he won is because he had two Tamatoas in his hand.
Kept Tamatoas and then diming them, so nothing I can really do to stop that.
Like he got rid of one of them, and
I kept getting rid of them, but it just was he just kept throwing them out there. So it's how that format works with that deck. You know, if you get the cards rolling and you're rolling along, then they're kind of inevitable of what is going to happen. So,
but then
still,
that was
good
the only
games.
time you guys played.
Oh yeah, me and Dad
and Malcolm
and Malcolm, but sadly not Mom because Mom was in Chicago again.
Yeah, I was in Chicago for work. For a couple days, so the three of them went and played at a new, close location to us that's starting out.
It's called RIW Hobbies. I don't know what RIW stands for.
That's okay. But so, how did you do at RIW on it?
I only went one and two.
And they played it. So our normal store that we have been playing at since the beginning plays in a traditional 3-game format, but the new store that we're playing at has been playing in the new 2-game format.
Yep.
Every week, which I think that's fine. I kind of like having both options, and because they do both at tournaments, I think it works out. And it is a shorter timeline, which is nice playing in the evenings when we have kids.
Yeah, that's probably the one nice thing about it. That
and
over quicker.
And also my friend since kindergarten comes there sometimes.
Yep. So playing with basically bringing new people into the game because it's a closer place for us has been a nice thing. Yeah, Emma went 1 and 2, I think, or you went. What I mean, you were what 0 and 2, 0 and 2, then 1 and then 2 and 0. Is that right?
Yes.
I know
so
Malcolm.
7 points, which is good.
Malcolm went 2 and 0, 1 and 1, 1 and 1.
That's awesome.
So he did really good.
So 13 points. That's great.
And also one time.
Hey, don't eat the kitties' treats.
And also, like before the game, like matches started, I battled with Malcolm, and it was such a pain. He so at the beginning, and I had a feeling that he cheated.
No, he
did not cheat.
This is how. So he showed me his starting can. It was 3 reloads. I'm pretty sure it was like 3 reloads, a random 3 drop.
That's just luck.
Yeah,
sometimes it happens. I got, when I was playing on Sunday, within my first 3 turns, I had all 4 stitches in my hand. All 4 1-drop stitches in my hand. I just kept playing them and playing them and playing them. Sometimes it happens.
Yep, for sure. Sometimes I end up with 4 Be Prepared in my hand. I'm like, oh no, what am I going to do?
Yes.
So,
and yet, I saw not a single Robin Hood that whole game. So, sometimes it happens.
Yep, for sure. I did, I guess you'd say like 2 0 and 1. So I went 2 and 0 twice and then went 1 and 1 once.
Okay.
So I did, that was enough to basically top the event that they did. So
awesome.
good time to play. And it was important for us to go out and play because we are starting our kind of set championship gauntlet a little early this time around because because this store, they did actually get in the Stitch promo stuff for the Stitch set championship, for the Infinite Inkland set championship, but they didn't have anyone to run the thing. They didn't have anyone employed by the store that really
and I heard they got it late too.
No, they had it on time.
Okay.
We were following them.
Okay.
I saw they said when they got it, they were like, "Yeah, we've got it. We just don't have anyone to run it." And they were saying that before the week started.
Oh, I see. But they got special permission.
So yeah, they reached out and they got permission to run it since they weren't able to run it before. So tomorrow on Saturday, the 29th, the 3 of us are going for it again, trying to get one more stitch, last chance stitch.
One more
Probably.
stitch.
besides like tournaments that are just being thrown by stores, um, to just get one of the stitches. This is probably the last like official. This might be like the last official Stitch championship probably in the world, right?
Yep.
So
And those mats too.
and those mats.
We didn't get a mat. We got a
Get a mat.
Stitch.
We got a card, but we don't have a
Did
mat.
not get
so.
a mat, so.
You don't really need a match.
Hey.
That's a mat.
Yes, we do.
That
is your opinion,
great
sir.
to win it. So we're gonna go for it once again. And that's makes it just 1 week before the set 4 championships start, and we start playing for this Ursula card.
So pretty. So ominous.
I love it because it's the puzzle piece. If only I had the lead.
Yeah.
Well,
they're down there. You can see them. They're just kind of shaded behind the letters, so they're on there.
And
hey, boys, got there.
And also Emmett, isn't she one of your favorite villains?
Yeah.
So
I'm sure excited if we can get one.
So every Saturday and Sunday in July, you should hopefully be able to find a Set 4 championship near you. You can find them on Melee, many of the Facebook websites that you might be a part of. The Facebook groups are sharing things. There is a map out there that kind of has not every, but most of the championships that have been created in Melee are in there's a map that someone has created. Basically, you can look around where you are to see what stores are having it when they are. Now, it is like algorithm based, so it's based on if the store has created the event in Melee. It depends if they've named it right, all that kind of stuff. So just because you don't see it there doesn't mean your store isn't hosting one. It just means that the algorithm didn't pick it up. But there's plenty out there. This first weekend, especially if you're in the States, you're not going to find very many because of the 4th of July weekend. And actually, you won't find a ton over in Europe either because the Disney Lorcana Challenge in Bochum, I have no idea what country that is, is going on. I just know the city is Bochum.
Bochum?
Yeah.
How do you spell it?
It starts with a B and an O. After that, good luck. Anyways, so a lot of stores aren't having it that weekend because a lot of people are going to the championships there, to that Disney Lorcana Challenge. So this first weekend is going to be a little quiet, but things are really heating up that next weekend. A lot of stores want to have it that first weekend that it's available because then more people will come and try to win it because that's when the card's going to be worth the most. So the people that go and play and try to win it so that they can then sell it really quickly and earn some money for playing this game. And it costs a lot of money to kind of get into the game. So I don't fault anyone for trying to want to make and recoup some of that. The best way to do that is to win that first weekend and get it out right away. That's when its value is probably going to be the highest. So that's why you'll see a lot that essentially the second weekend this time around, at least here in the States. But then you'll have 2 more weekends after that. So you got 4 weekends, you got 8 days to try to win one. Best of luck to everyone. This is our second go around with the set championships. We've also been to the Disney Lorcana Challenge in Chicago, and some of the things I just wanted to talk about a little bit here before we start going over some new cards, right, is what is different about a set championship versus a regular round of league play? Because maybe maybe you just started. This is your first set championship.
It's in Germany.
Germany. Okay. Germany for the next Disney Lorcana Challenge. Good luck to anyone playing in that.
Yes.
Everyone will be watching because without Pixelboard now, it's tournament reports that we're looking at, trying to see what new decks are out there.
Yep.
So everyone will be watching, paying attention. They've got Specchi and Lorcana Villain doing the play-by-play again, along with a new person. I forget their name, so sorry about that. But those guys do some great commentary on the game, so definitely give it a watch on Twitch once they're showing it. But anyways, back to the set championships that we actually will get to compete in. So how would you describe, how is a set championship different than a regular day of league play?
There's a bracket.
There's a bracket.
So it gets cut.
Well, the bracket doesn't happen until the end.
Yeah.
So do you remember how?
There's more rounds.
There's more rounds. It's
usually,
a long day, right? Yes. Was it
Yeah.
a long day? Did we get really hungry? Did we get hangry?
You gotta say, you can
Yeah,
say yes or
remember,
no, buddy.
people can't hear you when you shake your head. Emmett, talk normal so people can hear you.
Yes.
Yes, Emmett got very hangry.
What do you have to do differently during the set championships that you don't normally have to do?
During a set championship, you have to not use your phone to make to count the door.
That's right.
Right,
So
that's one thing,
You
yeah.
have to use a piece of paper.
so you don't.
It's
So
not actually a requirement, but
right. So that is one rule. Like you can't use your phones, which seems a little
Yeah.
odd, right? Because they've gone and made this app to keep lore. And then the first thing for your championships, sorry, you can't use that app. You have to use some other means of counting lore. Now you can use the little lore counters that come in a troves. You can use little movers on something. The preferred way is to just use a piece of paper and pencil.
keep
Because
track of both
to keep
sides.
track of both sides, because if there is a disagreement on when you're at where you are at in lore, they're going to go by a written record more than just some little mover moving across a path of 20. Um, so use a paper, use a pen, use a pencil, whatever you want to write it down. Just write it down, keep track. It's in your best interest. Because well, a lot of people that play Lorcana super nice. I rarely run into anybody that's like, man, I hope I don't play them ever again.
There's a few.
There's a few out there, and so if you run into them, they're going to be, they may try to seize any advantage that they can get. So
Yeah.
just do yourself a favor, use a piece of paper and pencil, track your lore. And then he also brought up more rounds. There will usually leagues tend to just do 3 rounds and you're done, regardless of whether or not there's a tie. If you have usually we have a couple of undefeateds at our leagues every week after 3 rounds. So there's got to be more rounds. So there's going to be there'll be at least 3 rounds of Swiss, which is how they call matching up. So winners will play winners, losers play losers, and you just kind of match up. I'm at the same place you are in the pecking order, so we're going to play each other. Except for that first one where it's completely random.
And now for these, are they the 2-game format or?
So
is it a 3-game format or is it up to the store?
It's up to the store.
Okay, interesting.
So check with your store whether or not you're going to be playing best of 3s or the 2-game format. Now, after you're anywhere from 3 to 6 rounds, depending on the number of people that show up, it will cut to the top 4 or top 8. Right? If you only have 16 people show up, it's going to be 4 rounds, I think, and then cut to top 8. If you have 32 people show up, it's going to be 5 rounds and then cut to top 8. And when you get to top 8, then it becomes best of 3. So the 2-game thing goes out the window, and it's just the regular best of 3 that you're used to every other time. So Jen, what advice would you give to anyone going to their first set championship?
So first, be ready for a long day. Bring drinks with you. Bring a water bottle. If you are going to a new store that you've never been to before, um, scope out where there are possibly like stores nearby or places you could DoorDash food, or like we are lucky enough that our favorite place actually has a noodle house built right into it, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But if, make sure that you stay hydrated, that you have food with you, because when your brain is working hard, you will get just as hungry as if your body's working hard.
Yep.
Because your brain uses a lot of sugar. I don't know if you guys know that, but it does. We're both chemistry majors over here, and I'm a science and math and research teacher. So trust me when I say that your brain uses a lot of sugar and carbs when you are using a lot of brain power, which I hope you are when you're playing Lorcana, because it's, it is definitely a strategy based game. So make sure that you have food, you have a plan for food, um, because you might not have time to go stop and get something. I know at when we did the set championships, there were quite a few people who were like, "Hey, let's just do a tie for this round so we can have a break and go get some food," and then they ended up losing out in the top 8 because of it. When they thought, "Oh, as long as I win the next round, I'll be fine," and then they didn't. And so they didn't make the top 8. And so you have a plan. You don't want your plan to be, oh, well, if I'm this far, and I'll just, we'll just do a bye so that way, or call it a draw, so that way we can have a break and get some food. If you really want that mat, because they're gonna have mats this time too, right?
Yep, same thing.
If you want the mats, if you want the Ursula card, be prepared with your own stuff. And
be prepared.
and
Yes,
all right. And the other thing that you need to be aware of is that it will be required for you to have a printed set list of what you're going to play with.
In most cases.
In most
Check with your store's rules, because Ravensburger isn't requiring deck lists, but a lot of the stores are, because they like to post, hey, this is what won our store. Hey, this is what they like to provide that to people, so they show it.
And
so make sure you know if your store needs one. Try to do one in advance. Go to dreamborn.inc. You can fill out your deck, select all the cards that are in your deck, and then there's a button on there that just says export to registration sheet. It exports it right to the Disney Lorcana deck list sheet, so that you can just then print that off, turn that in. Otherwise, you have to write out these cards. So like, if you are using the Ursula Sea Witch Queen, you have to write out Ursula Sea Witch Queen. You can't just write out Ursula.
Yeah.
Right, because there's like 20 Ursulas. So you have to write out the whole name. So if you're using Mickey, you gotta write Mickey, Brave Little Tailor, Maleficent, Monstrous Dragon.
Yes.
That's not gonna be fun to write out for if you've got 20 different cards in your deck, 20 different names. So
yeah, so have that ready to go. And then the other thing too is that while usually in league play you're supposed to stick with the same deck throughout, sometimes people might switch up a couple of cards. You're not allowed to do that. Like, you have to stick with the same full deck that you're playing. You can't switch anything out or switch anything up. So if it's not working, it's not working. You just have to keep going with it. Usually I would say practice on Pixelborn before a championship, but obviously that isn't an option anymore. If you do have friends or family and you can get some games in for practice, especially if you are trying out a new deck, I highly recommend that. Just to make sure that if you are trying something out new, that it is going to work. Try it out before the championship.
Yeah, now isn't the time to try to use something you've never done before.
Yeah.
I, for the past several weeks, have just brought a new deck to League so that I can try out different things, see what works, see what doesn't. Problem is, a lot of them have worked, so now I don't know what to do. I'm gonna see how it works. Like, know what your local people play in your league. Like, if they're all playing Emerald Steel, figure out a path to beat Emerald Steel specifically. Maybe you'll lose some matches to other colors, but if most of them are Emerald Steel, that's what you'll see the most of. So
the problem is, though, like half the people in our store were playing new stuff last week.
Yep.
So who knows?
I have a good idea what most of the good people will be playing. So
yeah.
That's kind of what you got to look for, and just try to plan it out as best as you can.
Sure.
Next week, my plan is for the podcast, we'll go over whatever new cards come out. I don't expect a whole lot of new cards with the 4th of July holiday here in the States. But Ravensburger is a German company, so they might put out some. But then they've got that challenge to deal with.
That's true.
So who knows if we're going to get anything new next week as spoiler season kind of continues to trickle along until they open up the floodgates. But next week I'm going to go over with these guys the current top 4 decks in the format. Talk about what they're trying to do, and what you need to look out for when you see them being played against you. We'll go over that next week. So if you are interested in that, definitely get a little bit more into competitive side next week. Still we'll come at it from a beginner level as we try to do. But we will look at those top 4 decks.
Because we'll have one more episode before the first day.
Yes.
So
we've got the set championships tomorrow, but that's for set 3.
That's for set 3,
but next week will be the start of that. So that's when we'll go over it. So try to win this great Ursula card. Best of luck to you if you don't get a chance to listen to us before our next episode. And go get those Ursulas. If you do win an Ursula, hey, send us a picture of it.
Yeah.
Let us know. Let's see
New
it.
cards?
Yeah. And now as we continue, it's getting closer and closer.
Skies in August.
That's right. So we've got about 5 to 6 weeks before Shimmering Skies hits.
Shimmering Skies in August.
Yep.
One song for
We'll see what comes up next time. So we did get a few new cards. So I believe this first card came out earlier this week because it is the 30th anniversary of the Lion King.
It is.
So for that, we got this Emerald
Ooh.
card. It's a 4-cost uninkable. Remember who you are. It's an action. It's got some beautiful artwork. If you haven't seen it, go and
Oh,
take a look
yeah.
at it. The ability is if chosen opponent has more cards in their hand than you, draw cards until you have the same number.
Whoa.
So it's an interesting card. So it doesn't fit really with the current
Mm-mm.
profile of Emerald, right? Like my first thought when this, like, it looks almost like the inverse of the "You Have Forgotten Me" card that's in Amber that causes the person to lose 2 cards. Um, but it's in Emerald and it makes them draw cards, so it feels like
Wait, what's the amber card?
the Amber card is a 4-cost. I think it's inkable. It's "You Have Forgotten Me," and you have to discard 2 cards. The opponent does.
The opponent discards 2 cards.
This one lets you draw into what your opponent's hand. So it doesn't seem to me that it would fit in the current Emerald discard deck, right? That's what Emerald does. It discards stuff. Where I think this would fit best is in kind of an aggro deck where you want to throw out a whole bunch of characters,
Like low cost characters.
like low cost characters. Maybe mix it with Amethyst, with the Pinocchios and like King Arthur and stuff. Like throw out all those low cost characters that can quest really quick, and then play this on 4. Refill your hand with whatever the opponent has. Like basically reload your hand and throw down a bunch more small characters to keep trying to quest quickly.
Sure.
So that's kind of my thought of where this could fit. I wouldn't take this in a draft because you're about equal on cards.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, Emmett?
I think it's okay.
Yeah, the art is cool though.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
art is very cool. Up next, we got a pair that was just released today.
Oh, I love it so much.
It's Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. So first,
They're
Mickey.
dancers.
He's a 4-cost inkable Mickey Mouse enthusiastic dancer. Strength of 2, willpower 4, quests for 2. Has the ability Perfect Partners. While you have a character named Minnie Mouse in play, this character gets +2 strength. And then Minnie Mouse is a 3-cost inkable dazzling dancer, 2 strength, 4 willpower. Quest for 1 has the ability Dance Off. Whenever this character or one of your characters named Mickey Mouse challenges another character, gain 1 lore.
I'm sorry, but the ability called Dance Off is my favorite thing ever.
She got some good flavor text on there. She doesn't seek the spotlight. The spotlight seeks her.
That's right.
Whereas Mickey Mouse is like, he loves to share the spotlight with the star like Minnie. So like he's all about sharing. Minnie's like, I am the spotlight.
It's me.
You're blinded just by looking at me.
That's right. And she's got she's got the dress with the shimmy and the gold bow.
I have a question. Do these arts connect?
They do.
They do. Look at it. It
Connect,
connects like perfectly.
They do connect pretty well. Unfortunately, the cards won't be next to each other in the binder.
Oh no.
Because it's like Mickey Mouse is 112 and Minnie Mouse is 126.
That's frustrating.
Normally they probably would be right next to each other because it's Mickey and Minnie, but the reds. So there was something noticed with all the racers from the last time we went over things.
Oh sure.
They had like glitched numbers because there are glitches in the system and everything. So and they were all Ruby cards, so they're gonna kind of mess up the whole alphabetical thing they had going on. So they won't match up in the binder, unfortunately. You'll just have to put them together when you play them.
If you play them.
So
if people are playing them, they're playing them together, I think.
Yeah. So it's interesting. This is the first time we've seen kind of a crossover between the kind of Mickey and Friends sets.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if we get some more synergies with that. Can you build a Mickey and Minnie set that kind of work off of each other like Flotsam and Jetsam do?
Yeah.
Right. This could be a good pair in a draft, like a 4. Like if you get a Minnie out and then you've got that Mickey. Right, Mickey becomes a 4/4 that quests for 2 that costs 4 and is inkable. I take that in the draft.
Yeah.
Any day, as long as you get the Minnie Mouse too.
And then the Minnie gives you a lore every time he attacks, and he's attacking for 4 now.
Yeah, so he becomes like a little Shere Khan type character. So that could be pretty cool. And it could end up working well with like the Ruby Steel deck that people have been trying to get working. He becomes like a Shere Khan. You have Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse, and Shere Khan on the board. You're getting 2 for every time you attack someone, and Mickey's a big old beefy body that's just right in house. So maybe there's something there. Maybe.
And that defensive 4 is pretty strong.
It
for
is,
a 3
yeah.
and 4 cost card.
Mhm.
Like that's pretty tough to get rid of, especially even just the Mickey on its own. Questing for 2 with the defense of 4, like, and an inkable card, that's a pretty strong card just on its own.
This is
Well-
the non-invasive bonbon.
Sure. I mean, the only problem with him, right, is that without Mini on the table, his strength is 2. So if
Sure.
you're playing another Ruby character, that Ruby's deck that's like throwing out the big things, he dies to Medusa, he dies to Sisu,
Sure, he does.
he dies to Brawl. So
Right.
definitely playable as long as you have the Mini.
Yes.
So, and then we got one more card. So June 26th was this week. That's
All right,
626.
626.
So it's 626 day, which means we got a Stitch card.
Of course we did.
Why 626?
Because he was
Experiment
he's
626.
Experiment 626 in the movie.
Oh.
Yep. So this is a steel card. It's 4 cost uninkable. Stitch, team underdog. Stitch is playing a little tug of rope there. He's got 1 strength, 4 willpower, quest for 1. Special ability Heave Ho. When you play this character, you may deal 2 damage to a chosen character.
So that'll get rid of a lot of people.
Yeah,
That gets
so
rid
it's-
of a Pinocchio. That gets rid of a Diablo.
Yeah, so it's like a cannon fire or a boom.
Right, but a character.
On a bot, right?
Yeah.
So something you play, it's just at 4.
4 is expensive.
And
for-
uninkable.
Exactly.
What
And only-
project is he in the movie?
626.
626, buddy. And it only had a strength of 1,
Yeah.
which means he like dies to little Sisu, big Sisu, to Medusa, to Brawl, to anything that does anything with that strength. I mean, the 4 is a little bit harder to get rid of, right? You know, Smash doesn't get rid of him. You'd have to use that Along Came Zeus to get rid of him without
Right.
challenging. But challenging, right, he's only going to ding you for 1 damage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the problem comes from. Maybe he could find a home maybe in a bounce package like with Amethyst, because you could just keep bringing him back to your hand and playing him and dealing that 2 damage is like a repeatable cannon fire, a repeatable boom.
Yeah.
But I mean that 4 cost, that is a hard thing to
Unless
overcome.
you are playing something where you're getting a lot of ink easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. Like, and that's I'm trying to think if I could put them in my deck, but yeah, at 4 cost, like I'm like, and I already have so many uninkables playing Steel Song.
It'd be hard to include him right now. I wouldn't include him in your deck. Like there is some thought that. So the interesting thing here is, right, the little flag on his tuck of rope
Mm-hmm.
is amethyst.
Amethyst.
It's colored, but it is the steel symbol.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So it's like maybe they're trying to give us a hint as, hey, we think this would work well with amethyst.
Yeah.
So maybe the bounce package with him
Mm-hmm.
would be something that could work, a repeatable spell and a repeatable song type damage, right? Because it does the same amount of damage that Storm came.
But that flag is steel.
Mm-hmm.
Right, the symbol is
What
steel, but the
symbol?
flag's color is
Purple,
purple.
which is amethyst.
Oh.
So maybe you can play with amethyst. But at the very least, right, if you were doing draft, you know, I don't know if it would be my first choice, but I'd take it, right? Because doing 2 damage, we don't know what type of damage, what type of other stuff is available, but this is an uncommon, so there's a good chance you're going to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something I would necessarily turn away in a draft. I don't know if I take it first without seeing the rest of the cards, but I think it would be really good.
Yeah, I
in
think
that
it could
format,
work.
right?
Yeah.
So that was all the cards they had for us this week. It's still early. There's going to be a lot of cards coming. Normally we probably wouldn't have even covered most of these cards because they're all commons and uncommons. I think the first one, the Mufasa one was a rare.
But that Mickey and Minnie are super cool.
Yes, the Mickey and Minnie are super cool.
Super cool cards.
People were like disappointed because it was like they teased it yesterday about Goofy watching his best friends dance, and people were like, "Oh, it's got to be Chip and Dale." Like, why isn't it Mickey and Minnie? Like those are his best friends and they dance. So it makes perfect sense to me. But some people were like, "I want Chip and Dale." I think there's people who wanted Chip and Dale.
Well, yeah, of course we want Chip and Dale because they're amazing.
I'm sure they're gonna come eventually. We will see them. I am sure of it. So that's our new cards for the week. So
We only know one new card that's definitely going to come.
What do you mean?
what's that?
That card is what's it called? Try it again. We definitely know that try it again from the card.
Oh, right.
Try everything.
Try everything.
Okay, yeah, that's a good, like, people were talking about it on social media. So obviously they showed Gazelle,
Mm-hmm.
that's her name, in the movie. the Shakira character from Zootopia, right? Which means that Try Anything
It's
has to be
probably
a
gonna
song coming
yeah.
up. What would Try Anything? What do you guys think?
Probably maybe like every maybe like a be prepared but not on you.
I think it's gonna be a card draw,
Could be.
and I think it's gonna be Amber or Amethyst.
Sure. If it's a card draw, Amethyst makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Try Everything may mean play a card from your hand for free.
Could
Maybe
be
just
that.
try whatever. Maybe try play every card from your hand for free.
Or all 1-2 cost cards for free.
Sure. Something like that. Just
that's
try
already
everything.
out there.
Yep. Give your character ward evasive.
And everything. Yeah, ward evasive and rush.
Yeah. Just try everything. I don't know. Gotta do something.
I just found some more on this card.
What's that?
He's not the biggest glimmer on the team, but he still packs a
wallop.
A wallop.
So that's the flavor text on the Stitch card.
That means there's going to be more team underdog people.
I mean, maybe. I guess they could have other ones on this team. Maybe there will be things that link up.
Yeah, because they're playing tug of war.
Yeah.
So there's probably other people pulling on the rope.
Sure.
Playing tug of war.
Yeah. There's a good chance we could see some link up on this card with maybe characters that aren't from the same movie. Maybe they'll be from different movies because it's all team stuff. So this is all in celebration of defeating Ursula. So okay. So that's the new cards for this week. Let's close out this week the way we do every week. Emmett, take it away.
Oh no, Emmett's got the trivia card.
Okay,
So as we do every week, it's trivia time. We take it from the wonderful world of Disney trivia. Let's take our 5 questions and see how we do. How many will be about the Emperor's New Groove this week?
Hey, or Sophia the First.
Yeah.
Because we did get that.
Yeah, that.
Okay. What musical do the characters in The Suit of Life?
The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody perform at the school, and which character does Maddie say she looks just like?
That is like a multi-part question, and I've never seen The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, so I'm gonna go with Cats, and I'm gonna go with the magical Mr. Mistopheles.
I'm gonna say that they do Beauty and the Beast, and she looks just like Belle.
High School.
I was gonna say High School Musical.
And Sophie Evans.
Sharpay. And she looks just like. I was gonna say High School Musical.
Plays both.
Oh, that's because it's her.
Sophie and the
Sharpay.
Sharpay in the original movie and Maddie on Suit.
They're both the same. They're both played by the same person.
See, that's where
I should have remembered that.
See, that's where I have a real failing. And when it comes to the timeline, I have no idea when The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody aired and when High School Musical. Like I remember watching High School Musical, but I have no idea what year that was.
We were in college
when
it came out.
I would have said that Sweet Life of Zack and Cody came out in like the 80s. And somehow,
do you know who stars in that?
Yeah, I know. I feel like
That doesn't even make sense.
I understand.
They were like literally the kid.
No, you're not listening to me.
Cole was on Friends when he was like 4.
I understand. I understand that it did not occur in the 80s, but I feel like that it is a show from the 80s that I was somehow an adult when it came out. I don't understand why.
Okay, so anyway, I'm mad I did not know that because like I've only seen a little bit of some of those Disney Junior shows from when like, the kids were babies and we would watch the Disney Junior shows, but on the regular Disney Channel, and then they turned to the bigger kid Disney shows and like they were still being, didn't want to get out of bed yet, so it was just on. But I knew that she was on there, so that the actress, because the actress the actress that plays Sharpay is on that show.
All right, let's go on to the next question.
Okay,
that's more.
Brave, Meredith's mother eats the cursed cake. Who else eats the cake?
Her triplet brothers, and that's why they all turned into
bears.
Actually,
it was the father. No, it was the brothers.
It was the triplet brothers. That's why they all turned into bears.
Yep. Okay. Where does Goofy and his family live as seen in movies like a Goofy movie, and Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas.
Wait, what? What's the actual question?
Where does Goofy and his family live?
Oh,
as
where do they
seen in
live?
movies
Oh.
like A Goofy Movie and Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas.
Cincinnati. I have no idea.
House?
Doghouse.
No, he lives in a house. What city do they live in? Like I think they live in California, but that's all like I know. I don't know, where is it?
Spoonerville.
Okay, sure.
I do
Right
remember
next
that.
to Cincinnati.
Okay.
I do remember that from the
Actor Phil Harris voiced two different characters. Who wore bears for Disney? What two movies were they from?
Okay, I'm pretty sure. So how can I?
I'm not even sure what the question was.
Okay, actor Phil Harris
Okay.
voiced two different characters who were bears for Disney.
Oh,
What two movies were they from?
sure. So
It's Baloo
right.
from Jungle Book, and then it's also.
I know the answer.
Oh, what's the other one then? I got one. You got
Little
the other
John.
one. And it's
from
Little
Robin.
John from Robin Hood.
Yep, you were
Because they
correct.
sound exactly the
Yeah.
same.
Okay, you have to
In
get.
fact, they move exactly the same.
They do because it's the same animation.
Okay,
Yeah.
you guys have to get this. Okay, if you guys get this rounded to the nearest 10 is correct.
Okay.
Then I'll count it. How old is Crush in the film Finding Nemo?
How old is Crush? I think he's 150 years young.
90.
Mom, you take the point for that.
Was he 150? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Very good. Good
150 years. Yeah, he's 150 years young, not 150 years old.
Okay, that brings us to an end for trivia.
Hey, where's Malcolm? Where did the Malcolm picture go?
You took it off the thing.
You took it because I put it right here.
Oh, right.
No more bits. Okay. It's time to bring us to a close. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you for those that are watching. Thank you to both Jen and Emmett for being here. Next week, Malcolm should be back at the table
He better be.
to give his deep insights into the future of Lorcana, just like he does every week. But in the meantime, thank you so much. Best of luck to all of your playing. If you are listening to this and you want to see a video version, there is one on YouTube. If you're on YouTube and you want to listen to it only, you can find us on all major podcast platforms. Wherever you find us, please like, subscribe, follow, leave us a review, leave us a rating. Anything you can always will help us out, and we do appreciate it. If you have questions, you can email us at questlorequestions@gmail.com. That's questlorequestions@gmail.com. You can find us as QuestLore throughout social media on Twitter and Instagram when I remember to post there. Trying to get better. It's hard. Also trying to, work. So there you go. So thank you so much for joining us. And until next time, we've been QuestLore.
I want the lucky rabbit for Lorcana!